Hi everybody, my name is Robert Galindo and I'm the instructor for this your online class for the summer. Now as you know, this class is goes on until August 11th, which means that we effectively have only 10 weeks, which is shorter than a normal semester, which means we're going to have to be kind of accelerated, which means you guys have to be kind of keep on the ball. So the first thing that I want to go over, I made some notes here and talk about for the announcements. First of all, I want to welcome you all to the class. I hope that you're all interested in learning, and I will do my best to get you there. Get your textbooks. On my first announcement, I said that to get the 5th edition, well, they slipped in the 6th edition without my knowing, and the publication date, actually, if you open it up on the left-hand cover side, on the first page, it says it's a 2012. So that surprised me a little bit. So 5th or 6th edition is fine. If you get it locally, you can get it at nerdbooks.com. Really nice people up in Richardson. But I think it's $26, or you can get it a little cheaper on Amazon. So be sure to get that ASAP. I've already assigned a reading assignment for that, and that's Chapter 9, about how to think photographically, which is not as easy as you might think. Okay, a couple of things just about guidelines for success in the class. Is keeping in touch. When you have a problem, let me know about it, and ask questions. Ask me, ask your peers. You guys are going to be working together a lot. You're going to be reviewing each other's works. Every week you're going to be posting in another assignment, and then every week you have to critique at least 3 of your classmates' work. We're going to be talking more about this, but I want you to know how important the critique is for this learning process. Of primary importance is being constructive. Constructive and substantive. So while you don't have to like everyone's work, you do have to find a way to learn how to talk about it. And you might think, well, how is that related to photography? It's very related to photography, because as you start learning how to make conscious your thoughts about the visual, expression or visual interpretations, you're actually training your brain to think intuitively on a visual level. So the critique is a very important part of it. So you're generally going to be turning in your work for your shooting assignments every week on Tuesdays, and then you have 2 days to respond to 3 people's work. And every week you want to make them different 3. You don't want to go over the same people's. And is it hard to talk about someone's work that you don't find very interesting? Because sometimes that'll happen. That will happen. Sometimes you'll have a good week and sometimes a bad week, but that's one of the challenges that you have to learn, is how to talk about photos that you're not necessarily sure how to talk about them. One of the easiest ways is just to describe the photos in a way, and you'll find that there's an inherent bias when you are describing photos. What you describe first and why you're describing it. This is all part of affect, which is kind of like the subconscious judgment that goes on with all of us. But in any case, be constructive, be nice to each other. I know this may sound ridiculous at the first video announcement, but it's very, very important for any creative class to be respectful. And that's what I mean. So be constructive, but be substantive. Don't just say, I like so-and-so's work, or I don't like it. That's fine. If you like it or you don't, that's fine. In fact, it may not even be important that you like it or not, but tell us why. That's what we're interested in. That's the substantive part of the critique. So always say, well, I like this week I really like your works because you have dogs in it. Well, that's not really getting into the meat of it. But you might want to say, I really like your work, for example, because you're using, the creative use of the framing and the light coming in from the porch gives it a dramatic aspect. Now you're starting to talk about, you're describing the visual elements in the work. And you're going beyond just the, well, I like it, I don't like it. You're getting into the gravitas and the description of the visual domain. And it's one of the most difficult things about folks getting into learning how to take good photographs is learning how to think visually rather than thinking literally. Very, very different things. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Introductions. By tomorrow, you're supposed to post your self-introduction in the discussion board. Please do so. I'm also looking to see who's following instructions. So when you create a thread, make sure that you always start with your name and then, whatever the assignment is. So in this case, it'd be Robert Galindo, self-introduction, and then talk about yourself. See if you can post your picture so that we can see it. If you go into course materials, you're going to see mini tutorials. I'm going to be posting video tutorials and step-by-step tutorials on this and that and the other. But right now, I've got tutorials on how to post images, and even how to resize images. So you'll see from the bad pictures and from the bad pictures assignment, which is your first assignment number 00, believe it or not, that some of the images appear really huge. That's because people haven't resized them yet. We will. For bad pictures, it's not important, but for the other shooting assignments, they will be important. Okay, so be sure to introduce yourself. Be sure to post your bad pictures. And when I'm talking about bad pictures, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Give me 3 different kinds of bad pictures. Don't just take a picture, and cover the lens, the camera, and say, well, this is a bad picture because, the lens is covered. And then you do 3 of those. It's not very challenging. You get the picture. The next thing is go to Start Here folder, Week 1 folder. You'll notice that I've just posted this thing about this is the gear and experience inventory. I think I call it hardware and experience inventory, something like that. But be sure to download it, fill it out, and save it as with your name on it. Save it, save the file name with your name. So it'd be Alt-F-A, so file, save as, Robert Galindo inventory. And then send it back to me as an email attachment. Try to do that by Tuesday. In fact, do it by Tuesday. This is going to give me information, and what I'm asking here is basically camera. What kind of camera is it? It doesn't matter if you've got an SLR, which is what this is, or a point and shoot, which is what this is. But you have to be able to tell me what kind of camera it is. So when I'm asking for make and model, well, in this case, this is a Canon PowerShot SD750. All right, that's my little meter. This is a Canon 40D, 40D. So that's what I'm asking for. And 40D is the schools, the photo departments. I'm also asking you about lenses. So basically, what kind of lens do you have? If you have a few, list them. If not, and if you just got a point and shoot, what I'm looking for is more about what kind of lens you have. So in this case, this is a 5.8 to 17.4 millimeter zoom lens. That's all you have to write there. No big deal. Media card. What I'm asking for the media card is basically this. What kind of a media card is it? And this is the media card. In this case, this is an SD card, and this is a 2 gigabyte capacity. And this, always want to know where to find all this stuff. How to get the battery. Always want to make sure that your battery is fully loaded when you're going to go out shooting. It's very embarrassing to show up as the photographer, and you not only don't have a media card in your camera, but your batteries are dead. Now in this case, the media card is located here in a different place, and this is a CF card. This is a little tricky to get used to. This is also a 2 gigabyte capacity, and it's called a CF card. Notice it's very different, much bigger. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It's not that kind of thing. And the battery is located here. Okay, I know the camera's in and out, but looking at them in reverse is a little tricky. So this is the battery, and you always want to know how to take care of your batteries and how to charge them. Always keep them charged. I'm asking for your sensor. What kind of resolution is it? Basically, I'm asking for what the megapixels. How do you presently transfer your digital files? Do you do it by media card reader, which is plugs in? It's got the USB port. This costs, I think, $12, maybe $8. But when you buy one, make sure that it has a media card that your camera uses. There's no point in getting a media card reader if it doesn't work for your media camera. I mean, for your media card. The other choice, if you don't do it by media card reader, is by you just plug your camera directly into the computer, which is not the best way to do it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Do you practice good file management? If you don't know what the question is, probably not. What would you like to learn in this class? And the last question, what kind of image editing software are you using now, and how confident are you with it? So is this Photoshop? If you don't have anything, don't worry about it. You don't need to spend a fortune on getting this. You can download Picasa, that's Picasa. Just do a Google search on Picasa, and it's free, and it's actually pretty good. And I'll be making tutorials for that. There's also GIMP, G-I-M-P. Do a Google search on that, and you can download these. They're free. And you're going to need these to resize your images. Last thing that I want to talk about very briefly is check your cameras, go into the media, into the menus, and find out time and date. You want to make sure that you have your time and date set up accurately. Do that before you turn in the first assignment. So do that. You want to start getting to your cameras immediately. This will make your photographic experience, your photographic learning much quicker and more substantive. Believe it or not, a lot of people are attracted to photography because they think, I want to be creative. It's like, well, good. But the thing about the creative aspect of it is that you have to learn there's technical aspects to being able to really flourish your creativity. And there's nothing wrong with it. The easiest part of learning photography is the technical aspect, believe it or not. Some people think the easiest part is the being creative. It's not the case. Anyway, we'll talk a lot more about this. I just wanted to post a video announcement soon. I hate actually being in front of a camera. I think that's one of the reasons why I became a photographer. Not really, but but I find that I found that these video announcements can be helpful to some. And all right, I'm going to post this, and remember to keep in touch.